Hello and welcome, my dear friend. If this found you, it's because God has been leaving evidence in the one place you thought was too ordinary to carry a message, your house. And you'll recognize the pattern. Because when God is preparing you to move on from something, He does something that's both merciful and uncomfortable. He makes what you've been tolerating stop being tolerable. The thing you used to carry becomes heavy. The thing you used to ignore becomes loud. The thing you used to explain away starts bothering you in a way you can't talk yourself out of. Not to punish you, to free you from the weight of what you can't carry anymore. And one of the first places that freedom pressure shows up is your home, because that's where you return to yourself. It's where your guard drops. It's where your body tells the truth. And you may have noticed it already. You may find yourself suddenly aware of a corner of the room you always avoided. You may feel an urge to open the windows more than usual, like you need air, not just physically, but spiritually. You may look at certain objects and feel tired, even if they're just objects. You may feel the pull to clean, declutter, rearrange, simplify, because something in you is craving space. And for some of you, it may not be physical at all. It may be emotional. You may come home and feel like your spirit doesn't exhale the way it used to. You may sit down and still feel on. You may notice you don't fully rest, even when you finally have time to rest. That doesn't automatically mean something is wrong with you. It can mean something is changing in you, or asking to change. Not drastic changes, just small, simple ones. Because God does not only speak in church moments, God speaks in kitchen moments. God speaks in the place where you stop the rush and start feeling. Sometimes God speaks through symbols. So when I say He left evidence in your house, I mean He may be drawing your attention to what your environment has been training you to live with. Your home is not just where you live. Your home is what your nervous system learns from every single day. If your space is crowded, your mind stays crowded. If your space is chaotic, your thoughts feel rushed. If your space holds old memories, your body keeps waking up inside a chapter that already ended. And here's the truth. When God wants you to move on, He often doesn't yank you out violently. He starts making the old life feel tight. Not because the old life was always evil. Sometimes it was simply finished. But you stayed because it was familiar. You stayed because you were loyal. You stayed because you don't want to disappoint anyone. You stayed because you keep hoping it will become easier again. So you start to feel the pressure, not to crush you, to push you forward. God makes the old version of your life harder to sit inside, and you may be feeling that pressure at home. You may notice the same routine doesn't soothe you anymore. The same room doesn't feel the same anymore. The same setup doesn't comfort you anymore, even when nothing big happened. That's the point. God can make you outgrow something without a dramatic explosion. He can simply remove your ability to bear it the way you used to. And that unbearable feeling is not random. It's guidance. It's like wearing shoes that used to fit. You walked miles in them. You trusted them. They were your shoes. But then your feet change. And one day the same shoes start rubbing. The same shoes start hurting. The same shoes make you walk differently just to avoid pain. The shoes didn't change overnight. They became wrong for who you are now. That's what God does when it's time to move on. He lets the old things start rubbing your spirit. And your house may be the mirror where you can't ignore it anymore. You may look around and realize, I've been living around things I don't even like. I've been holding on to items that carry old emotions. I've been keeping space for a version of me that God already graduated. This is the time to get truly honest with yourself, because some of you have been saying, once my life changes, I'll fix my space. But God may be doing it the other way around. He may be shifting your space to help shift your life, because the environment you live in can either support your next season or keep trying to pull you back into your last one. This is what tonight may look like. You walk through your house slowly, like you're walking through your mind. and you just notice what you react to. You may feel drawn to one drawer. You may feel irritated by one pile. You may feel burdened by one item. You may feel like one room needs air, light, movement, change. That is not you being too sensitive. That is God giving you direction through discomfort. Because God often speaks like this. He doesn't always shout, "Leave." Sometimes He just makes staying start to itch. And if you've been feeling that itch, if you've been bothered, restless, unsettled, take it seriously. Not with panic, with dignity. Because God is not trying to make your house prettier. He's trying to make your life lighter. God is leaving evidence because He's close, because He's involved. And He's making the old things less bearable because He is leading you into something better. Take the hint gently, trust Him deeply, and let your home become the first place where your next season starts to breathe. Now here's what matters most. When God begins working through your home, He is not asking you to overhaul your life overnight. He is asking you to respond to what you're already noticing. Because awareness is the invitation. Many people miss this part. They think God only moves through big instructions, major decisions, loud signs, clear commands. But often God starts with something much quieter. He starts with discomfort you can't ignore anymore. That discomfort isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to guide you toward your destined life. Because the moment you finally admit, this doesn't feel right anymore, you've already stepped into obedience. And this is where your house becomes sacred, not because of the walls, but because of what you choose to release inside them. Some of you may feel led to let go of objects you once kept, just in case. Some of you may feel the need to clear spaces you haven't touched in years. Some of you may feel drawn to rearrange, simplify, or create quiet where noise used to live. And none of that is random. Because your external space often reflects what God is already doing internally. He clears before He fills. He lightens before He builds. He makes room before He brings more. And sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is not pray longer, but let go sooner. Let go of the item that holds a memory you've already healed from. Let go of the arrangement that belongs to an old version of you. Let go of the habit of keeping everything the same just because it once worked. Because keeping what no longer fits doesn't preserve peace. It delays it. And keep this close. This is not about perfection. This is not about minimalism. This is not about doing things right. This is about pure alignment. God is aligning your inner life with your outer environment so that when the next season arrives, you don't resist it out of habit. Because some blessings don't struggle to arrive. They struggle to stay when the environment isn't ready. And God cares about that. He cares that you can rest when peace arrives. He cares that you can receive without bracing yourself. He cares that your home becomes a place where your nervous system feels safe enough to exhale. That's why the old things are starting to itch. That's why the familiar feels tight. That's why what once comforted you now feels heavy. It's not rejection, it's preparation for what's next. And this is important. You don't have to understand everything to move forward. You just have to trust what feels lighter when you release it. So don't rush, don't dramatize it, don't turn it into fear. Just notice. Notice what feels peaceful to remove. Notice what feels relieving to shift. Notice what feels good to open, clear, or let go of. God is gentle when He leads this way. He doesn't force, He invites. And every small response builds momentum. Chosen ones, obedience can look ordinary, especially at first. It may look like an open window, a rearranged corner, a quiet moment of honesty with yourself. But heaven doesn't measure obedience by size. It measures it by alignment. And alignment always makes space for what's next. So trust what your body responds to. Trust the nudge that feels relieving, not stressful. Trust the direction that feels lighter, not heavier. God is not trying to take something from you. He's trying to make sure you don't carry what can't go with you. Let your home support who you are becoming. Let it breathe with you. Let it rest with you. Because when your space is ready, your spirit follows. And what comes next won't feel like pressure anymore. It will feel like arrival. Thank you so much for taking this journey with me. If this message resonated, please like, share it with someone who might benefit, and subscribe to stay connected. Continue your awakening journey by choosing one of the videos on your screen that resonates with you the most. See you there.